Let's hear
Sorry,
in
go
the
ahead.
chat. Let's hear in the chat where they think USC is going to be ranked in the first edition of the college football playoffs. They're going to be released
Oh,
this
great
Tuesday
call.
night
Yeah, right.
on ESPN. Let's hear what you think after this performance tonight. Guys, what do you think? Where do you think USC is going to be ranked in the college football playoffs? If you had to take a guess,
Where do I think? I think they're gonna leave us somewhere in around 10. I think. I don't see us. I mean, I don't see us creeping any higher than that.
See, I don't know if they'll move K-State above us. I think we stay. I think we go to 9. I don't think we go. Yeah, I mean, so in theory, two ahead of us lost. So who makes the jump?
Yeah,
that's the question. Is there anybody that would jump on us? So I think jump. I think 9.
I think number 9. Wake Forest was tied with us. They lost, and then Oklahoma State was number 9. They lost. I think we just bump in there. We're not going to jump ahead of Oregon, nor should we. And then you have TCU, Alabama, Clemson, Michigan, Tennessee, Ohio State, and Georgia, all winners. So I think number 9 is right about right.
All right, you guys, we got Austin Williams back. Austin, can you hear us this time? Austin? Oh, still having struggles. All right, so we're seeing we got a lot of 9. Gixxer Squid says 9. Guitars Are Cool says 9. Jimbo thinks USC goes to 9. Angel, I like your thoughts. You think we go up by 8th? Go up to 8th? Friend of the show, Chris, says he thinks 9 in AP. But how much does CFP differ when that comes out is a really, really good question.
That'll be good to see. Exactly.
Yeah, that's going to be real, real interesting. And then I don't know. We have to actually. I'll pull up the poll real quick, and we'll see. Who else we think would be up there. We can go. Let's take a look also real quick. Sorry, breezing through.
Actually, UCLA might be ahead of us, just because they might think they have a better defense. Which at this point, I wouldn't argue they have a better defense than USC, and especially if they, I think they're winning 24-6 right now on Stanford. Looks like they're having a much better performance against a bottom feeder Pac-12 team than we did.
Yeah, they're up 24-6 at halftime.
So there
guys,
there's some kudos to you, Chris.
You guys are looking, and there looks like there's probably like 30,000 people in the Rose Bowl, so that's good. Like actually 30, not reported, but actually probably 30,000, which is good. Guys, what do we think real quick? And we're going to talk about this more in our power rankings with the conference later this week. But any just quick thoughts, any mistakes, anybody we elevate? Well, I'm feeling real good about my Arizona pick to be the best of that little crowd down there.
Yeah, I think that you nailed that. I think that they are going to replace just that offense. I mean, the defense still sucks, but the way they balled out against a limping. Hey, going back really quickly, does anyone know what Goforth and we're still in Foreman's injuries are? Like why I know Goforth didn't play and Foreman, but why are they out? Does anyone know? The chat, if you guys know, if you could let us know, it'd be great.
Goforth was hurt in the Utah game, so I don't know exactly what his injury was, but it makes sense that he didn't play. I don't know what's up with Corey Foreman. I don't know. But if I'm looking at the power rankings, mine look about 100% accurate.
Although you've just been called out by friend of the show, Gixxer Squid.
No, Gixxer, I had USC going into this week at number 4 because I had Oregon obviously number 1, UCLA beat Utah, and Utah beat us. And we just didn't have, at that point in time, that's how I felt. We didn't have any substantial wins in the Pac-12 other than Oregon State. So that's why I have Oregon State 5. If you look at Stanford, Arizona, they're about the same. So that's where I have it. So if we beat UCLA, obviously we'll move up. But UCLA, Utah, and Oregon look better than USC, and I think tonight's performance kind of reaffirmed what I was believing.
Yeah, I got USC above Utah for sure, just because I saw them both play in Salt Lake City on a neutral field. I think everyone agrees with me that USC wins that game. If they're not at altitude and they're not getting screwed by refs, and if they're not playing on a Memorial Night to players that where lives were cut short, in a blackout game, they had everything going for them, and they had to go they went on 1 point on a 2-point conversion. To me, that meant that USC is the better team on a neutral field.
And I think, Chris points out here, Oregon State, Washington, going to be a banger next week. That is going to be a good game.
They both have buys. That's going to be a great game. It's on Friday night also. It's going to be a
wild game.
Yep.
It is definitely going to be a wild game. Yeah,
I'm going to call it right now. UCLA is going to be ranked higher than USC in the first college football playoffs released on Tuesday night. Book it.
Probably a safe bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're going on resume alone, they will.
Yeah, guitars are cool. That catch Singer made in the end zone behind ESPN, it belongs there. Singer played a great game. And again, we've been talking about USC. I just want to give kudos again. Anybody who's joined the chat, Arizona deserves kudos. They played their best game of the year probably tonight, and deserves credit for it.
Which unit, you guys, tonight in the chat and you guys on the panel, which unit on the field tonight you think played the best? Well, maybe split up between defense and offense. So which unit on defense played the best? Linebackers, line, or secondary? Well, we know it's not secondary.
For USC?
For me, easily it's the defensive line. That was a one bright spot for me. I wish they could have settled down. I mean, I know it's Jaden. It's Delora's really, really elusive. I think, but I still think they could have broke that down and made better tackles, at least turn him inside. But as far as a unit, I definitely have to give it to the defensive line. What do you guys think?
I agree with you. Obviously, it wasn't the linebackers and it wasn't the secondary. It was defensive line, and they got some pressure. Credit to Laura for getting out of it a lot, but they did. I think they did get 2 sacks, and they were hurrying him on some throws. But yeah, if I had to look at the defense, it was defensive line.
Yeah, and they did what they needed to. We didn't contain him on the edges. That's the problem. And Delora ran around. We'd have an almost sack, and then he's got 15 yards. There was absolutely no contain, and that killed us, I thought.
And Chris is being a bit snarky in the chat, talking about our wide receivers. He said that he thought was the ASU receivers were the best. But I'll tell you, I will say right now, yeah, those guys are studs. But who are also studs? Taj Washington, Ford, Rice, Bynum. I mean, those guys play stuff. Even Hudson had a couple of great plays, when he got in and showed what he could do. So, I don't think we take a second place to their receivers. I think our receivers, and these are our, quote unquote, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th best receivers. Those are their best receivers. That's my take.